Have you ever wondered why some men seem to have an irresistible pull? Why some women become completely captivated not by looks or money, but by something far deeper? Today, I'm going to reveal the psychology behind emotional attraction. Not manipulation. Not deception. But a real, psychological understanding of how emotional needs shape behavior and desire. Now, before we go any further, I want to say this clearly: with great power comes great responsibility. Understanding the emotional voids that people carry can lead to deep connection or, if misused, to obsession and heartbreak. What I share here is for those who want to build meaningful attraction, not control others. Let's dive deep into the emotional triggers that can make someone feel not just interested but emotionally addicted to your presence. Stick with me until the end, because I'll share real-life stories and, most importantly, a lesson that can change the way you approach relationships forever. 1. Understanding emotional needs. Humans are driven by needs. You've probably heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a pyramid with basic survival at the bottom and self-actualization at the top. But right in the middle? Emotional needs: love, belonging, and esteem. Now here's the truth most men were never taught: emotional fulfillment is more powerful than physical attraction. You don't have to be rich or look like a movie star to make a woman crave you. You just have to give her something she's not getting anywhere else. That's when attraction moves from the surface level to something far deeper. 2. The 4 emotional voids. Every woman, every person, really carries an emotional void. Something missing. Something they're silently yearning for. And if you can identify what that is and authentically become a source of fulfillment, you'll create a connection that's magnetic. There are 4 main emotional voids. Validation. We all crave validation, but for some, especially those who grew up without consistent affirmation, it becomes a deep emotional need. Women may seek compliments, reassurance, or proof of worth. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Psychologists have studied something called intermittent reinforcement. It's when rewards are given unpredictably, and it creates stronger addictions than consistent rewards. That's why slot machines are so addictive. When you offer validation unpredictably, not always, not never, it triggers a dopamine response. She begins to crave your approval because she can't predict it. But be careful, overuse this and it turns into manipulation. Authenticity is key. Excitement. Life is often routine: work, bills, stress, repeat. Excitement is a form of emotional high that people chase to escape monotony. When you inject a sense of fun, tension, unpredictability, and novelty into her experience, she'll associate you with emotional intensity. This doesn't mean being reckless or playing games. It means showing up differently. Be spontaneous. Try new things together. Make her laugh when she expects silence. Challenge her expectations. The emotional memory you create will be far more powerful than anything you say. Escape. We all need an escape from pressure. From the expectations of family, work, society. If she feels she can let her guard down around you, that you're a safe space where she can be silly, vulnerable, relaxed, she'll begin to crave that feeling. A woman who feels emotionally safe with you will associate your presence with peace. That peace becomes addictive. Be the man who listens without judgment, who helps her decompress, who becomes her favorite moment in the day. Challenge. Here's the hard truth: most men are too easy. Too eager. Too available. Women do not obsess over what is easy. They value what is rare and difficult to attain. This isn't about playing hard to get. It's about having standards. It's about being a high-value individual who doesn't give attention freely. You respect yourself enough to make someone earn your affection. That scarcity creates value. 3. How to identify her emotional void. Ever wonder why some women seem instantly drawn to certain men while others barely give them a second glance? It's not luck. It's not money. And it's definitely not just looks. It's about something much deeper, something emotional. If you want a woman to truly crave your presence, you need to identify what emotional need she's carrying around, often without even realizing it herself. So how do you uncover that invisible void? Here's the secret: listen more than you talk. And I don't mean passive hearing, I mean intentional, focused listening. Women leave emotional breadcrumbs in their words, their tone, their body language, and even their social media posts. The clues are always there, if you're paying attention. For example, if she complains that guys are always so predictable, or that dating is boring, she's not just venting, she's signaling that her life is craving excitement. If she mentions feeling drained, burnt out, or always under pressure, chances are she's looking for an escape, a safe emotional space where she can breathe freely. If her Instagram is a selfie shrine or she drops hints fishing for compliments, it's likely a cry for validation, a need to feel seen, appreciated, desired. And if she seems numb to flattery or indifferent when guys approach her, she's not cold, she's craving a challenge, someone who doesn't hand over his attention too easily. But here's the key: don't rush in to fix everything. Don't throw solutions at her. Just be the calm, consistent presence that slowly starts to meet that unspoken need without announcing it. Let her feel like being around you is the relief she didn't know she needed. That's how emotional bonds are formed, not through grand gestures, but through subtle, powerful connection. 4. Real-life stories and personal reflections. Let me tell you a story. Story 1, Validation Gone Wrong. I had a friend named Jason. He met a woman who constantly posted on Instagram and needed constant praise. He gave her everything she wanted: compliments, gifts, texts all day. At first, she was thrilled. But then she got bored. Why? Because he gave validation too easily. There was no unpredictability. No mystery. No value. She replaced him with someone who barely gave her attention but made her work for it. Story 2, The Power of Escape. Another friend, Sarah, told me she fell in love with a man because around him, she forgot her problems. He made her laugh when she wanted to cry. He didn't try to fix her issues, he simply made her feel alive. That escape was all she needed. Story 3, The Challenge She Couldn't Resist. Then there was Michael. He wasn't the tallest, richest, or most charming guy. But he had standards. He didn't fall for her beauty instantly. He listened but didn't flatter her every word. She said it was the first time a guy made her chase. That challenge lit a fire she hadn't felt in years. These stories aren't about tricks. They're about showing up as a man who fulfills a need that others overlook. 5. Lessons learned and final words. So here's what we've learned. Emotional needs drive attraction more than looks or money. Everyone carries a void: validation, excitement, escape, or challenge. Real connection comes from authentic fulfillment, not manipulation. The goal isn't to make someone obsessed, it's to create something irreplaceable. Attraction is not logical. It's psychological. Be the man who listens, who observes, who adds value without chasing, who respects himself and others. That's the kind of man who becomes unforgettable. And remember, with every technique you learn, lead with integrity. Use this knowledge to build, not to manipulate. When used responsibly, understanding emotional attraction doesn't just change your relationships, it changes your life. Thank you for watching. If this spoke to you, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Share your story. And as always, stay curious, stay respectful, and I'll see you in the next one.